This video is going to, if not convince you, but reinforce the concept or belief that when you are in flow, you are in sync. This we are talking about synchronicity, the combination of numerology and spirituality. It is a language in itself that only you can experience when you are in flow. It's the series of events that happen that seem to happen just, unexpectedly or magically. That's the word for it, magically. Furthermore, you will begin to pay attention to what is happening around you. You will be more in tune within and without, because that's the combination that happens as well. You will understand numerology at a deeper level, that it's happening not just for you, but it's happening within you as well. So stick around and let's have a tea break. Okay, beautiful ignited souls. I am Crimey Queen, your partner in crime. I hope you appoint me as your partner in crime, meaning that you need to subscribe to my channel. Of course, like and subscribe and do all the things that makes us US United Souls. Why are we going to be United Souls? Because we are on this path of the fifth dimension, understanding that life is a journey, and of course, now we are on this direction of the new creation. Now, why am I feeling qualified to say that I am your partner in crime? Is because I'm coming from a Christian background. Of course, I have been baptized twice, actually, because I felt I really needed some absolution, and, so the gods could recognize me, not realizing that the gods have been within me all along. They said, oh, God is everywhere, but not necessarily inside of you or something like that. Anyway, what I want to invite you is that you come on this journey with me where I decompact, deconstruct, decode the Bible in the sense of really giving us new meaning or fresh meaning through the eyes of numerology. Why numerology? Well, if you do the numerical value for numerology, it equals 55. 5 plus 5 is 10. That would be something like Adam, like hell, like Satan, like heaven. All these equal 10. But it's not just about that. We could tell you, for instance, 10 is masculine and feminine, and it's the seed for creation. Just to give you a little glimpse of this. It's easy to spot because it's like your 10 digits and one hand is more dominant than the other. Of course, that's it. Why do I feel qualified to do this? I feel really from having my awakening from pain of abuse of all sorts to self-discovery and self-worth and self-love, self-acceptance. This is something that I feel has exposed me to a range of experiences that gives me the confidence to do so. It is a sort of deliciousness that I just want to share with you. I'm covering the 14 gods in the Holy Bible of Genesis of chapter 1 and 2, which Christianity, for example, rests upon the same premise of numerology. Everything is numerology. It is the number 11 as with Jesus, or the number 5 as with Christ. Subscribe to this channel. Do like and, put your comments, and why not join us so we can know how to nourish ourselves, how to ignite the codes within us, because Christianity teaches us that you are the word, I are the people, all of that. But I can show you this through, of course, subscribing to this channel. Join us where we can have fun, and of course, beautiful ignited souls, I want to share this synchronistic experience with you. So basically, I've just like been editing a video, and a lot of things transpired through the number 47 and of course through 74. And then I thought, oh, what a, these are very synchronistic. And so I felt, no, I've got to explore this much deeper. And of course, and so we are finding, unless we understand all these ourselves, we are going through the land of wonder until we accidentally, if you like, stumble on those kinds of significance or teachings, of course, through ourselves, and to understand that there is a foundation that needs to happen within us, but not really taught that it is so. And so I say all of this to say about the synchronicity that I have been experiencing this evening through recording a video where I see, well, there seemed to be a lot about the number 47. It also registered in my mind, like from many years ago, when Deepak Chopra or Bob Proctor and so on. So, the magic of thinking big or think and grow rich and those sort of books. So when I embarked on these, but what I noticed throughout all my exposure to those teachings, there was always the number 47. They sold the number 47. That's what was happening. And I do notice even up until now, I notice in the spiritual teachings or advertisements or sales that they use the number 47 to sell their service. Sometimes it almost gets me a little bit annoyed, or thinking like it's like they've outsmart me, or it's not a competition, but it's that there is something that they're selling, but they don't speak about the 47 or the numbers they use. They tell you about everything else that the program is good for, but no one teaches you about numerology to understand the vibration or how it is used or how you can use it to help or better yourself. And this is what I am dedicating these teachings for, to hopefully grasp within your means and of course with your uniqueness of being part of the united souls, that you will understand how to use those vibrations. So back to the synchronicity is that, so 47, of course, I realize mirrors the number 74, and that's synchronicity. Now, of course, as we know, synchronicity is a series of steps of experiences that leads you onto something seemingly magical happens. It's always a series of steps that you're not conscious about, but it just comes, takes you to this point, which is why I am doing this video. So back to all of this is that I noticed how I actually got this is that I was looking at the number 2, the word 2, for instance. And of course, you can go back to my video where I speak a lot about 2, but I was actually looking at 2. And of course, I always want to do a lot on this, but I spent more time looking at this W, which is 5. Of course, it's always like the I call it the 8-petal flower, because it's W, it's 3, it's E, and it's M. Okay, so I call it the 8-petal flower. But this, we felt, of course, was showing that the gods were actually in this W, because when we talk about the 14 gods that we are the embodiment of, they are part of you. You are the W is really the gods. So 14, 1 plus 4 is 5, which is really Christ. That's your Christ spirit. And basically we had this here 2 and 6, and I was looking at this 2 and 6 because it also taught me it's as if the 8 is like a cloak and everything is in 8. Now I really want to make this, here we have 8 here. I really want to make this kind of like short, but bear with me. Just stick around in this. So there we looked at 2, which is TWO. which equals 13, and of course this is 4. But of course we spent a lot on 13 as the death number, and which is soul. Your soul equals 13, the atom equals 13, the number 2, of course, where agreement is found or formed, that equals 2, and many more things. And then we have this, which is TO, which is 6. So of course we do SIX. This equals 16. Of course this is 7. Can you see where we have the 47 people? So when you actually sign on something to say yes I agree, or you reply, or you look into something, you are actually going into this agreement here. Adding this together equals 11. This is synchronicity. And of course it is sold to you. This is how magical it is, that the codes that we activate within us, the codes that we are thinking, oh, isn't it like I'm doing right now? Isn't it strange that I've just finished working on the number 11, which I have showed the relationship with number 11 and 2, because it's two ones. If you add this together, you, of course, that equals 2. And we also see the numerical value or correlation with 2 and 4, which I spoke about the shadow. We always have that is 2U is not just only that 2, it is there's a W here. Of course, we use this in context. It depends on the context, but it's always there. There is always another part that we do not see, as in dark and light, up and down, as in, left and right, and so on. But there's always polarities. Okay. Or the law of correspondence, the law of polarities. And this is what we are saying here. So how did we get 8 here? I just really want to show you this quickly. Again, we have been so guided by the gods to do this. Look at this again as though we were, in kindergarten. And so we are looking at all these separate, which we could do the same with the number 13 as we have done with 2. Basically, 2, this would be 9. It shows you that 2 would be birthing, like mother and father, they create and they birth. So they birth something new, of course. So here we see I was showing 2 plus 6 as 8, and showing that the W, it's like that's the child within, it's the Pandora box. It's that's the other you within and as without, or which vice versa. So that's what we were looking at here. Okay, so I hope you get this, because I wanted to show how we can break this down to really understand our makeup. The left and the right, for instance. Who am I? The different hemispheres, the womb that incubates, and of course it births out. So there is, again, you have the womb within, and when we are birthed into the world, we are in a womb. All of us now. But when you have your awakening, of course, things just open up before your eyes. And sometimes, out of the blue, you question something and you think, oh, you stumbled on that. But we are talking about synchronicity. So here we had 8. And of course, on today's date, which is 28th of the 1st, I'm writing this again just for the record. This is also 8. This is just like I said, through numerology, I have learned that where you have these 2 8s, that is dynamite. In fact, I had a cousin who wore this number 88. His number is 20, or still uses this number 88 as a captain of the cricket team for West Indies. But he's no more a captain, but that was his number. And of course, he scored so much more, or made a mark for West Indies in cricket. So I'm making this point to say those two eights are dynamite. They are creation in themselves because of course the 40 years or 40 days and nights, whatever it is really foundation that is so strong and solid, and of course things become or create through them. Now, if we did the numerical value for the word 8, just to show you why we have 40 days, 40 nights, and all of those things here, of course, this equals 31, which mirrors the word 2, because we have two eights here, TWO. Oh, we are two, your W. That's why you have two nostrils, two eyes, two arms, two legs, two hemispheres, two cheeks, and so on. And if you talk about whatever else, you'll find two as well. The only thing it is said that is not two is the pineal gland, of course, which is the what we call the kundalini rising, or that code or that P in the brain, the middle of the brain, which is what our job is, to attain the enlightenment of activating that, which comes to 5. Okay, so here we have, this comes to 4 right here. So of course this would be another 4 here, and this shows you how things get hidden in 8. So 8 actually is almost, here we could say, like the 4-petal flower. Let's just put it this way. Or you could see this here, or something is buried here. It's your north, your south, your east and west, and often we only can focus on one point at a time, so we are oblivious to the rest of what is. It's like a cell. We are cells in cell, because the cell has, as far as we learn, everything in it to become what we are. And so, of course, no wonder the word cell equals 14. Or when we hear of, I shall name her Eve because she is the mother of all living. So basically, the number 14, the mother of all living, equals 14. And so 1 plus 4 is 5, and that is Eve, meaning everything is in Eve, like your home. This is why we have a home or a house, and this is where we say everything is there, even if you go to your work or whatever else that you do, but you have got that home. Your work is part of your construct of who you are as home. Okay, so I am hoping we get this on here. I think I showed, but I said that we hadn't seen the worst of China, and this is what I'm wanting to show, the synchronicity here. Okay, let's look at this. So let's look at this. There again, here we are talking about, there's, because I this is where I started with my video on the first of the first month, 2022. So we looked at zero, and that's what I'm needing to say, 0 point. And so we have 8, 5, 9, 6. So this is 28 people. Again, of course, this is more or less saying it's 2 eighths, or if we wanted to say it's 2 plus 8, which is 10, and I will show you the magic. So here we can see with the calculations of number 10 that it does reflect synchronicity, as it also equals 74. Thus, it is the master number 11. I will show you the magic. Nothing happens by chance. This is the math. This is what we are meant to be learning here, people. Here we can see how parents, mother and father, both twins, or even so, if you were single, you still are of a W. Let's have a tea break. And while we are having this tea break, people, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Do it now. Do it now. There's a book called Doing It Now, which is really good, by David something, I think his name is. But do it now, so you don't have to think about should I, shouldn't I, and all of those things. Do it now. And as well, hit that notification bell so when I upload, you will be one of the first to see, hear, do, be, have. Okay, all right, let's focus on here. We see that this is telling us because go like in after God created in the Bible, we are talking about multiply, so it would be 2 8s 16. So this is where we see 8 is actually looking like 2 zeros here, right there, 2 zeros. So we add this 0 point. This is like saying 2 8s, however you want to look at it. But also you could say it's 2 noughts, and when we do naught and OT, it also equals 13, which is 4. And of course, another naught would be 4, and that would be 8. So you can see why they ate ATE or ETE, or we are having T. I'm being transparent here, people. And so, this is what it's important for us to really see this. Not just buy your item for 47 pounds or dollars and not know what they are telling you. You know, that's what it is. You are making an agreement because that comes to 11. 47 comes to 11, which is like the equal sign. This is what it is. It is the 2 right there. And the word equal equals 20. So they've added this. It just give it to you in a way, in a position that you had not seen. That's why, you know, when you till the ground, things turn in different positions, and then you can understand, oh, well, that's a worm, that's a stone, that is a bee, whatever it is, and whether you get sting, whatever it is. But you get to understand how to cultivate the art of self-love with this. This is a delicious, a very resourceful language, a tool that we have been given, and it's time we really get to understand it. What I also wanted to show, which I did show in the other video, that when we did 26 2 plus 6, which is 8, this is actually coinciding perfectly with the 26 letters of the alphabet that we are given as our gift of language. Okay. So, we have looked at this here, and to see how synchronicity is happening, showing us like how to complete your masters. It's like saying, I'll give you a series of experiences so you can eat. So, and you can say you ate. It's like read that, you ate it. It's words, whatever it is. Okay. Now, there's the other point I really wanted to show. Let's have okay, and of course this is I looked at the word action, which also equals 26. So synchronicity is about taking action. It has the same it's not just dormant. As I say, it's a sequence of events that happen to seeming like magic or magical. And so 26, of course, or action, ACT, which is not what I really wanted to say, but you're with me. Say yes. Because of course we are doing the serpent. So what we wanted to show as well is, so Neo, that's the other thing that so all of this synchronicity and all of what I've said about China, this is where I was going with it. So China, China, which is actually five letters. Now, yes, we do not speak Chinese, but why do they have an I in the middle here? I is actually like 9 beginning, and then N is, end, and the A, it's like saying, so China is going through the synchronistic thing, lots and lots and lots of events happening there. So that's where they have this Neo, Neo, Cove. Yeah. And so this is what it's called. 5, 5, again 6, which is of course 16. when we have 16, I think you might have seen, I hope you have, how 16 can actually birth after its kind and is infinite. I only discovered this through numerology. It's like, again, the sequence of events. The seven, where it comes to seven, is a demarcation or like a soul or something. Is that's when it is said, and she saw the fruit was good. So there's always that she saw it was good, but then there was the eating that took part, the picking or whatever, and we still do. So you can see how this has gone into eternity. It's an ongoing thing. So to have Neo, which you are Neo, because you are the one, O-N-E, the same letters here, you can see that this is just being in reverse. So we have O-N-E, and here we have the E, of course, in the middle here, which is Eve, again, in the middle, like the core of the apple. That's the apple. We see 5 here. So, okay, so this equals 16. Why do I say it goes on to infinite? I will show you in a minute. So, but we have 364, almost like 365, or meaning 365 days of the year. But of course, there is a day, if you like, or like a year that disappears into into the darkness, like I call it the shadow, and we had not seen it. That's what that cove is. We know it's COVID, but still it's the energy that is put out there. So okay, and so it's like they just leave one day out for to say, okay, we'll have everything is one day now. Okay, so this is 13, meaning this is the death number right here. This is like a cove. It's not cove for nothing. It's like a cove, and so on. Of course, we have E. All the letters are there, so they don't need to put things too transparent, if you like. But those who are willing to see will see. So 13 goes back to this 2 that we started with, people. 2, which is 4. So this is all telling us with this that there is a death aspect, a incubation, confinement, whatever it is that is happening here. There is a death. In the process of death, of course, there must be, life must come to the surface at some stage. But here we have this north, south, east, and west is being crucified, if you like. That's what it is right here, to set that foundation, just as Christianity have used or have showed the story of Jesus to set that foundation. So shouldn't we say that Christianity as a whole have not showed us that there is some great significance to the numerology, in the sense where Christianity equals 11 and Christian equals 11 and Jesus equals 11? It's all numerology, people. We need to wake up. So people, we need to wake up and smell the coffee or tea, so we can break the law of silence. Okay, now, so we've showed, what I want to show here is that this is 7 and this is 4. Again, we see 74 is showing here with Neo Cove is 74. That's what I really wanted to show you about the synchronicity happening right there. Now, there's something else which I felt was more profound, because that's what actually got me cued into thinking, well, why were the spiritual teachers all selling this 47, and they come together? This is what they do, to have like a bunch of them to say, we'll give you, all this because we come together and we'll sell you. You could buy the whole package of 3 for the price of blah blah for $47, only $47 or 47 pounds. And so you actually buying into something that, yes, you feel, yeah, I have gained a lot, but of course I had to find this thing for myself. And all this thing means is that you need to know where you can, find yourself on that equal par with your spiritual makeup, that uniqueness in you, your higher self, your higher calling, your passion, and all those things to actually make that happen for you, or to be on this channel as we are united souls. Okay, and I keep wanting to remember what united souls is in numerical value, but anyway, so China actually equals 389 5, because there's the beginning and the end here, people. These things don't happen by chance, and this is one. So this is 15, this is 23, 26. Two, same thing, 26. Okay, so again, we have seen if we did 26, China would show us about this 47. The mirror aspect of synchronicity. The mirror of synchronicity. So China is 47, and let's look at this, because people think that things are happening just Buddhism, SM. I hope I've got it right, but I know it's actually 35. I think it's 35. So we need to wake up and smell the coffee. This is really something very delicious. Delicious in the sense this is wisdom. That's the word for synchronicity. Synchronicity is wisdom. Wisdom equals 11. So when we speak of Jesus, like some people think I'm speaking of a man or something like this, we're speaking of you, we're speaking of myself, we're speaking of each individual. Each person is a neo, each person is one in the one. One is like a way of identifying a whole of part of a whole, if you like. Okay, so I was going to count the letters and stuff, but we could do all this. I have done this before, but I'm just wanting to show you sequence of events that are happening here synchronistically to show how first how the number 47 that I felt has been sold to me so many times. But of course, as I say, I have learned a lot through it. But 4 plus 7 is 11. And that meant that I was on my master's and not knowing that I was actually doing my master's. Okay, and that's what the story of Jesus Christ is about as well. Jesus is not proven Christ until he is crucified, if you like, which we all have to go through our own crucifixion, the crucifixion of actually. Please watch the other videos, because this is really showing about how the gods can help us, crucify, if you like, what is not serving us, so we can earn our masters in the University of Life. Okay, so we see action, so take action, and of course, again, subscribe to this channel, people, and hit that notification bell. So that is action. You will on this 8, and we are being transparent. We're having tea, and of course, you are having the 8. And also want to show, because we had China and all these things is happening here, China, which I have looked at this here, but then this we are talking about happens in this Wuhan, HAN. We see when we follow the pattern that has been prescribed to us and look at the digits number 12 separately, 1 equals 7 and 2 equals 4, takes us back to the synchronicity value of 74. Everything back to the original. So of course we see China, as we say, is 8, but just to show with Wuhan, again, it's the numerical value and vibration that is going out. So that means this is 12, as we say, 1 plus 2 equals 3. And when we do the numerical value for this, it equals 11. We could also choose to look at 12 here as 1, which equals 7, and again 2, TWO, which equals 4. Of course, adding this together gives us 11. That is like showing you how the whole synchronicity happens. So we begin by purchasing our spiritual package, if you like, at $47 or £47, and of course, not knowing, but you go through a series of events happening or transformation. You don't realize that you are the Jesus, because Jesus equals 11, and of course you don't realize that you are actually meant to activate this. I hope you do realize on this United Souls channel that you have to work this is your working the 14 gods right here. So join me again, people, as we continue to delve into numerology, and of course that's what we are doing, cultivating the art of self-love. So when you are ready to do this, because we are in this 0 point, or whether you could say we are all journeying into the land of of wonder, like the children of Israel. This is a lot of things are happening right now. This is with a lot to do with the number 4, as in 40 days and 40 nights of fasting and praying, or with the flood of Moses, or with the flood of Noah, or with Christ, and all these fours. I hear a lot about Jesus Christ died for our sins, but of course you don't hear much in a significant way as the two thieves beside him on the cross, and of course Judas. But I'm talking about 4 here. This is the process. 4 is the incubation, 4 is the foundation, 4 is the 4 elements and all of those things, and that was very present there. And so I think it's only fair that we begin to acknowledge all that constitutes the foundation of what we are told, or how we are told, and of course activate the art of self-love, and igniting all the codes within us to create a new world, a new place, a new idea, and so on, because that's what we are here to do. Okay, and stay ignited.